Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ramage TV. I've been painting for a few weeks now, so since October started. Well, I've been painting for longer, but recently I'm doing like spooky type of painting for spooky season. So I started off with Michael Myers, and then Hocus Pocus, and right now, like I said last week, I'm doing a Jason Voorhees. And yes, it's gonna come with facts, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification to let you know when new videos are out. I usually post every Wednesday. I'm going to attempt to do like twice a week now, since I have more time on my hands. So hopefully I can put out 2 videos a week, and thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for viewing my stuff. And eventually, sometime in the near future, I'm going to set up a Facebook profile where I can make a little art community. People that sell stuff, people that make arts and crafts are going to be able to post their stuff on that Facebook page, and hopefully they can sell it through there. That way we all help each other out. I'm going to start selling these paintings as well as other paintings that I've done in the past. Other than that, guys, I won't bore you with any more details, but here comes the 13 facts about Jason Voorhees, or Friday the 13th. Jason was just a regular kid in the first draft. In Victor Miller's original script, the character of Jason Voorhees was basically just a kid who accidentally drowned in Crystal Lake. But the movie's financier Philip wanted something more, and brought in screenwriter Ron Kurtz for some rewrites. One of Kurtz's most important contributions to the film was the transformation of the tragic boy into the deformed child we see in the final movie. Kevin Bacon was not the film's biggest star at the time of shooting. Though he's without question the biggest name in the movie now, Kevin Bacon hadn't done much prior to Friday the 13th, apart from things like a small role in Animal House. At the time, the film's biggest name was Harry Crosby, son of then recently deceased legendary singer Bing Crosby, who played Bill. The screenwriter had a different title in mind, though Cunningham very quickly latched onto the idea of Friday the 13th as a title. Well, before the film got made, screenwriter Victor Miller originally came up with something else. In the spring of 1979, he was calling the film Long Night at Camp Blood. Many of the special effects were baked in the camp's kitchen. Tom Savini is now a makeup effects legend, thanks in part to his work on Friday the 13th. And in making the film, he and his assistant actually ended up using the camp to finalize special effects makeup. According to Tom, many of the latex appliances ultimately used to create the film's gruesome murders were baked in the pizza ovens at the camp where the movie was filmed. The camp used for filming is still operational. Camp Crystal Lake is actually Camp Ni B Bosco, a fully operational camp that the cast and crew were granted access to after campers left for the summer in 1979. It is still in use today. The original inspiration was Halloween. In 1979, producer and director Sean Cunningham was looking for a model on which to build a commercially successful film, and he found one in John Carpenter's horror classic Halloween. The two films immediately didn't share much other than a very broad slasher tropes. But Cunningham says he was very influenced by the structure of the Carpenter's film. I did one also the first week of October of Michael Myers. If you want to go check that out, I'll leave a link somewhere in the top or down in the description. The film was being advertised before it had even been financed. Hoping to drum up some publicity for his project, Cunningham took out an ad in the July 4th, 1979 edition of Variety, featuring the film's now iconic logo bursting through the glass. At the time, the general structure of the film was in place, but Georgetown Production had not yet fully agreed to finance it, and the advertised November 1979 release date was a pipe dream. Still, Cunningham did not get a response from the ad. Everybody wanted this film, he later said. Shelley Winters was the first choice for Mrs. Voorhees. For the now iconic role of Pamela Voorhees, Cunningham and company went in search of an actress with a recognizable name, whose career was nonetheless on the decline, so she could be paid relatively little and the budget could stay low. Cunningham eventually made a list of actresses he would consider, and two-time Oscar winner Shelley Winters was at the top of his choice. Winters wasn't interested though, and while fellow candidate and Oscar winner Estelle Parson actually negotiated to be in the film, she ultimately backed out. Cunningham also considered actresses Lois Lesser, Dorothy Malone, right up until filming began, but ultimately the production wound up to Betsy Palmer in the role. Betsy Palmer took the part so she could buy herself a new car. When Cunningham finally got around to offering Palmer the part of Mrs. Voorhees, she suddenly found herself in need of cash. After more than a year on Broadway, her car broke down as she drove back to her home in Connecticut. She might never have taken the movie if she hadn't needed the money for a new car. I got home at 5 in the morning and it was a situation where I desperately needed a new car, Palmer said. If I hadn't needed a car, I don't think I would have done Friday the 13th. While we're still on the subject of Betsy Palmer, Betsy Palmer gave Miss Voorhees a detailed backstory. When she was finally cast, Palmer dove deep into her character. As a method actor, she wanted to know more about her character than the audience, and came up with a backstory to build on the killer's hatred of sexual transgression. In her mind, Pamela had Jason out of wedlock with a high school boyfriend, and her parents ultimately disowned her for her sins because that's something a good girl doesn't do. One actor was temporarily blinded by fake blood for the scene in which Bill, Harry Crosby, is killed by multiple arrows, one of which landed in his eye. Tom Savini used a fake blood formula that included a wetting agent called PhotoFlow, which was supposed to make it look like fake blood soaking into clothing to look more realistic. Unfortunately, PhotoFlow is not an ingredient used for safe blood, meaning blood that is going to be encountering the face of an actor. For the arrow in the eye moment, a latex appliance was applied to Crosby's face, along with the blood as the scene was shot. The blood welled into Crosby's eye, causing intense pain when the appliance was removed. So our unsaved blood had an opportunity to fill Harry's eye under the appliance used to keep the arrow looking like if it was in his eye. And its surface burned poor Harry, Savini said. Not my proudest moment. Crosby had to be taken to the hospital for treatment, but was ultimately fine. Kevin Bacon's iconic death scene took hours to film and almost didn't work. Perhaps the most iconic death scene in the film occurs when Jack, Kevin Bacon, is killed with an arrow shoved through his throat from underneath the bed he's laying on. It's a brilliant special effect moment and was also the most complex death scene in the film. To make it work, Bacon had to crouch underneath the bed and insert his head through a hole in the mattress. Then a latex neck and chest appliance were attached to give the appearance that he was actually laying down. Getting the setup right took hours, and Bacon had to stay in that uncomfortable position the entire time. For the bloody final moment, Savini, also under the bed, would plunge an arrow up through the fake neck, while his assistant, also under the bed, operated a pump that would make the fake blood flow through the appliance. To further complicate things, the crew needed someone to stand in for the killer's hand that held Bacon's head down. And they ended up settling with photographer Richard Fury. Also, after hours of setup, setup and latex building and planning, it was finally time to shoot the scene. And when the moment of truth came, the hose of the blood pump disconnected, knowing they basically had only one take, otherwise they'd have to build a new latex appliance and set everything up again. Savini's assistant grabbed the hose and blew into it until blood flew out, saving the scene. I had to think quick, so I had just grabbed the hose and blew like crazy, which thankfully caused a serendipitous arterial blood spray. The blood didn't taste that bad either. And the last one. The main theme music came from a line of dialogue. When composing the score for the film, composer Harry Manfredini was looking for a distinctive sound to identify any point that the killer appeared in the scene. When he first saw the print of the film, he heard Miss Voorhees imitating Jason saying, "Kill her, mommy," and decided that was the key. So he took 2 syllables from the line of dialogue, spoke them himself, and made the iconic sound. So I got an idea from taking the key from kill and the ma from mommy, but spoke them very harshly, distinctly, and rhythmically into a microphone and ran them through a 70s echoing thing. It came up as you hear today. So every time there was a perspective of the stalker, I put it into the score, Manfredini said. Alright guys, that's all the time we have today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the painting, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the facts, and hopefully you guys didn't know all of them. If you did, let me know down below, or let me know if I missed any. So until next time guys, you know where to follow me. I have a Discord, I'll put it at the bottom if you guys want to play Among Us or any other game. Basically everything is Ramiji TV, so whatever you guys think, Snapchat, Twitch, TikTok, everything is Ramiji TV. So if you want to go follow me there, you're more than welcome. Until next Wednesday guys, sweet dreams.